So I guess my thing, I mean, I like stories that cover very short periods of time if they're good, but I also like stories that cover long periods of time if they're good. I feel like it's a very particular skill set. I'm impressed by a writer who can cover a lot of time and do it in a way that, to me, doesn't read like boring summary, actually.
Yeah, and I mean, even in the long stories, 40-plus page stories sometimes, it's rare for a scene to last more than a couple paragraphs for most of this book, and she gets a lot in there, I think. I mean, this person, obviously, that I read doesn't think that was...
I mean, read, what was that part again with the short bursts of whatever?
What happens then is that these stories become these short narrative bursts at key stages of somebody's life. She's doing the summary of somebody's life instead of a snapshot of somebody's life.
And I felt like that I would say the same exact thing, but to me that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That I like the kind of, I feel like the stories have these multiple gears, you know, where one gear, I mean, this is something I've sometimes talked about in classes that I've taught, where like you kind of have to have different narrative gears, right? Especially if you're going to cover a long period of time. Mm-hmm. And so one gear is like that kind of summary gear where you might pass 3 years in a paragraph or 2 paragraphs. And then the other gear is like, I don't know whether it would be downshifting or upshifting or whatever, to like a scene where you have people talking in real time.
This is where you're revealing
and they are these
car knowledge.
They are these short bursts, but I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. But my wife, same deal. I mean, she reads a ton. She reads more than I do, and she reads faster than I do, which kind of drives me crazy. And she doesn't read stories. I mean, she's read stories she liked, but she doesn't go out of her way to get them. Sometimes I'll give her a story and say, "This is really good. You like it?" She says, "Yeah, it's pretty good." She doesn't go get them, though.
And like, so I know a number of people who subscribe to the New Yorker, and the one part of the magazine they never read is the story. And they're pretty intelligent readers. I mean, they're reading the New Yorker, and they're like invested in it. And maybe they'll read it sometimes if it's by someone they know,
right? Or
not know, but you know, someone that like a writer they recognize the name and somebody that they're into. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, so on the one hand, I think maybe part of it is a marketing thing that basically if you tell people that something is like Brussels sprouts, and Brussels sprouts are in this equation bad, then they're going to believe you and just not eat them.